It all comes down to today. While millions of voters have already cast a ballot, millions more are headed to the polls on this election day.
Voting line outside of a church in Fox Chase. The line there was spilling into the parking lot, but it appears people were waiting patiently to cast their ballot.
Well, today I'm going to the various polling sites and giving out 866 Our Vote Line cards. And the goal is just to let people know they're not alone out here. Any question you may have that's voter related, you can call that number. I believe it will be needed, but my optimism is it's not going to be needed for nothing major. In my mind, I want an uneventful day.
Now, here is a live look inside of the Pennsylvania Convention Center. This is on Arch Street. It's where a ballot counting operation has been set up by the city commissioners, and officials began the process of counting all of those ballots at 7 o'clock this morning.
I arrived when they opened at 7 o'clock today. I was very pleased to see that it was a large space where all the observers could be far enough from each other to be safe.
And you can see the ballots kind of move like an assembly line, checked at one station, they're being opened at another station, they're being flattened at another one, and being scanned at another one.
I think there are people who can find things to challenge. It's a super complicated process, and the laws are complicated around it. And we hope that there isn't any kind of obstruction, because it looks like it's going very smoothly so far.
So many people voted by mail. But for us to still wake up and to have lines around the corner, and people didn't even complain, right? They happily waited in lines an hour and a half.
I too have been at about 10 plus polling locations today. And I think the most remarkable thing that I saw is the number of young people just out because they believe in this election and they realize that this is the election of their lifetime. And I'm trying to change my cautious optimism to excitement. And I think that I'm almost there.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm almost there.
Maybe around 11:30.
11:30. Okay, I'm holding on.
We are not seeing intimidation at the polls. We are not seeing fights at the polls. Everything is a green light.
We anticipate some sort of rhetoric coming down from the White House, whatever it may be, but we have every intention of making sure that every single solitary vote that is cast in the city is in fact counted.
I got out here at 6:30. It was a line around the corner. We had enough.
How are you feeling about the election generally?
I feel as though it's over. It's over. From the turnout I see here, and I got a few buddies working around the city.
Yeah.
We're coming out.
Yeah. Last cycle in Philadelphia, turnout was quite low, and that.
Well, that changed. Yeah. That did change.
Yeah.
So they're coming out. Look, we still coming. Yeah. Young and old together.
Yeah.
Still out here. 866 Our Vote Line. Anxiousness and excitement.
Nick.
Watch the news for the next week. Are y'all going to vote? It's about the loser. It's about the one losing gracefully. It's about the one putting the country before their own individual personalities.
How likely do you think that is?
Depending on who loses. And I'll leave it at that. But we ready.
I think I smell the desperation. They being the GOP, are really trying to find any kind of discrepancy, any kind of issue that they can claim is a reason to toss out ballots. I think they'll continue to attack ballot canvassing, the process of tabulating mail-in ballots, because we know they're overwhelmingly Democratic. I don't think we'll have any results tonight. And so this is going to be a legal battle, and Trump knows it.
We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning. We will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it.
I did my best not to pay those results any mind because all the votes haven't been counted yet. I will be satisfied when every vote is counted.
1.4 million mail-in ballots were outstanding. We should just recognize that in the middle of a brutal pandemic, we have actually expanded the franchise.
Well, it might be colored white, but that's the people's house.
Black votes matter also. We will not allow our votes to be suppressed. Count every vote.
I'm a survivor of COVID. We had a president in office who made a mockery out of it. And I'm speaking for those 200,000, over 200,000 lives.
They simultaneously went to court to make sure the city could not start to count these votes until the last possible minute, and then had the president yelling, nobody should be able to count the vote after today. It's obvious he knows that a fair count means he loses, and that's why for months they've been trying to make sure there wouldn't be a fair count. We need to have every vote counted.
Right.
And honestly, if we don't, then we will have a failed democracy, if we get to that point.
We're going to continue to count all night long. The counting, it does not stop. We've never had to count this large number of mail-in ballots and have an in-person election. So we thought that we had timed it right, but truthfully, we've never done it before this, in this large number.
Your concern is that you don't think Republican poll watchers are getting enough access to see what's going on.
Yeah, I've seen some reports on Twitter. One of the guys here, that guy there who is holding the Gadsden flag, he was a poll watcher and said that he was prevented from really being able to see anything.
So you just can't see it. That's disturbing. You don't know what's happening at all. Dead people have put in ballots in the history of Philadelphia. It's unfair.
I mean, do I think there is voter fraud in this country? Yes, I do. I believe that there's a massive potential for abuse in this election and concerted effort to manipulate the vote happening not just here, but in many, many other states as well.
This gentleman right here, he threw me out. He told me I'm not allowed back in. And the reason is because I took video of people trying to undermine and have a coup against the President of the United States.
But you just wait till Philly gets its counts on. I believe that folks are seeing over time, if you just wait, like we said, dude, you're going to see Philly swing back. And since the president's so interested in what's happening and transparency as it comes to counting, there's now a live stream being streamed inside, so that way he can watch real hard on every single count. And I hope that he enjoys each tally that goes up.
They put paper on all of the windows so you can't see in, and the people that are banned are very unhappy and become somewhat violent.
They are now investigating an alleged plot to attack the city's convention center where votes are being counted right now. People, possibly a family, driving up from Virginia in a Hummer, planning to attack the convention center.
Another strange thing is about to happen in Philly, Mr. Trump. I see you back at your casino. I'll be in Atlantic City, because we all gonna have to celebrate after we whoop your behind, Mr. Trump. Peace and love, Mr. Trump.